Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into metered versus unmetered proxies and which one saves more money. This is going to be a really comprehensive guide, so stick around because I'm going to cover everything you need to know. Proxy pricing falls into two fundamental models: metered, where you pay per gigabyte of bandwidth used, and unmetered, where you pay per IP or per port with unlimited bandwidth. Choosing the wrong model can cost you 2 to 10 times more than necessary. The right choice depends entirely on your data volume, request frequency, and the type of content you are scraping. Let's start with how metered proxies work. Metered proxies charge based on the amount of data transferred through the proxy, measured in gigabytes. You typically pay a monthly subscription for a set bandwidth allocation, with overage charges for extra usage. Common metered pricing is seen with residential proxies at around $5 to $15 per gigabyte, and mobile proxies at similar rates. Now, how do unmetered proxies work? Unmetered proxies charge per IP address or per proxy port with no bandwidth limits. You can transfer as much data as you want through each proxy without additional costs. Common unmetered pricing is seen with data center proxies at around $1 to $5 per IP per month, and some ISP proxies with fixed monthly rates. So when do metered proxies save you money? Let's look at a few scenarios. Scenario 1 is light API monitoring. If you're checking 1,000 API endpoints daily with about 5 kilobytes per response, your monthly data transfer is very small. Metered proxies would be dirt cheap here because you're barely using any bandwidth. Scenario 2 is price monitoring with text-only pages. Checking 10,000 product prices daily at about 20 kilobytes per page gives you a moderate amount of data transfer. Metered is still likely cheaper because the pages are small. Scenario 3 is search engine scraping. 5,000 SERP queries daily at around 30 kilobytes per page is still relatively light on bandwidth, making metered a cost-effective option. Now, when do unmetered proxies save money? Scenario 4 is full page scraping with images. If you're scraping 50,000 product pages daily with images at 500 kilobytes per page, that's a massive amount of data transfer. Unmetered proxies become significantly cheaper because you're not paying per gigabyte. Scenario 5 is video and media downloads. Downloading 1,000 videos daily at an average of 50 megabytes each means enormous bandwidth consumption. Metered proxies would be extremely expensive here. Scenario 6 is complete website mirroring. Mirroring a 10 gigabyte website weekly is another case where unmetered wins hands down. Let's talk about the break-even analysis. The break-even point depends on how many IPs you need and the per gigabyte rate. For example, with 50 data center IPs at $3 per IP versus $8 per gigabyte residential pricing, the break-even is about 18.8 gigabytes per month. Use less than that and metered is cheaper. Use more than that and unmetered is cheaper. Now, some bandwidth optimization tips. If you're on metered proxies, you want to reduce data transfer as much as possible. Disable images if you're using browser automation. Use compression by sending accept encoding headers, requesting zip, deflate, and brotli. Use head request to check content length before downloading large files. And use APIs instead of full page loads when available, since an API response might be around 2 kilobytes versus a full page at 200 kilobytes. If you're on unmetered proxies, the strategy flips. You want to maximize throughput per IP since bandwidth is free. Download everything including images, CSS, and JavaScript because it doesn't cost you extra. Distribute URLs across your IPs for maximum throughput. Watch out for hidden costs. With metered proxies, retried requests still count toward your bandwidth. Failed requests with error responses still use data. JavaScript rendering increases page size dramatically, and overage rates are often significantly higher than base rates. With unmetered proxies, the hidden costs include IP replacement fees if an IP gets banned, limited speeds or concurrent connections per IP, and the fact that cheaper IPs often have lower quality and higher block rates. Now for some frequently asked questions. Do metered proxies count failed requests toward my bandwidth? Yes, in most cases. Even if the target server returns a 403 forbidden or 429 too many request error, The data transferred for the request headers and error response body counts against your bandwidth allocation. This is why high block rates can make metered proxies disproportionately expensive. Can I get unmetered residential proxies? Unmetered residential proxies are extremely rare because residential proxy networks rely on real user devices with limited bandwidth. The bandwidth cost is borne by the device owner's ISP connection. Some providers offer unlimited residential plans, but these typically come with fair use policies, speed throttling, or lower priority routing. How do I track my bandwidth usage with metered proxies? Most proxy providers offer dashboards showing real-time bandwidth consumption. You can also track usage programmatically by monitoring the content length response header or measuring bytes transferred in your scraping script. Set up alerts at 80% of your allocation to avoid overage charges. Is there a hybrid options? Some providers offer tiered plans that combine elements of both. A base allocation of bandwidth with a set number of IPs and reduced overage rates. This can work well if your usage varies month to month. Which model do most professional scrapers use? Professional scrapers typically use unmetered data center proxies for high volume, low sensitivity targets, and metered residential proxies for protected sites that require stealth. The dual approach optimizes both cost and success rate. To wrap up, metered proxies are cheaper when you transfer small amounts of data like API calls, text-only pages, and light monitoring. Unmetered proxies are cheaper when you transfer large amounts of data like full pages with images, media downloads, and website mirroring. Calculate your expected monthly data transfer, compare it to the break-even point for your IP needs, and choose accordingly. Many professionals use both models simultaneously for different parts of their data pipeline. So there you have it, a complete breakdown of metered versus unmetered proxies. Remember, the key is to start implementing what you've learned and keep refining your approach over time. For more guides like this one, visit us at dataresearchtools.com. We're constantly putting out new content to help you stay ahead of the curve. See you in the next one.